Good evening, you lovely lot, and welcome back to the Toon Review YouTube channel as we are celebrating yet another 3 points for Eddie's Mags. Absolutely brilliant performance, and to come away with 3 points is probably better than what we expected originally. I mean, you know, we were happy, certainly seeing in the review show that we'd be happy to come away with a point as long as we didn't lose. We end up coming away with all three with an absolutely super performance. Some very good individual performances, but the team performance as a whole, just simply magnificent. And we had some defending to do, as we'd probably expect when you go away to Spurs and, you know, you're winning the game. Spurs came at us, but listen, they've got to go back through Harry Kane. But Nick Pope never had a save to make in that second half after that. And that just proves how good the defence is. They just could not get through us. We were a brick wall again, Danielle.
Yeah, I've just got 3 words. We are massive.
Aye.
That's it. I mean, we're absolutely massive. Everyone around the league is shaking in their boots right now because we aren't just like, you know, this project. I'm trying not to get ahead of myself, but you know, we are really massive. Like, people are worried. People are really worried, and rightfully so, because we are coming. Villa next on Saturday. We're battering them and all, I tell you.
Yeah, they'll be full of confidence after beating Brentford. Yeah. But listen, they've got
quality.
To come
the cream always rises to the top.
Absolutely, they've got to come to the Toon, and it ain't going to be easy for them. Josie Hansen, welcome to the members club. Thank you for becoming a new member. And welcome to the Toon Review family. If you do enjoy tonight's show, as usual, guys, hit that like button for us. And also, if you're new to the channel, as nearly 100 people have done today, please do subscribe and you know, become part of this fantastic Toon Review community out there. We are heading towards 15K. We are less than 200 away now. It is building up, and I'm sure we'll have a real old knees up for 15K, put it that way. You know, Alex is going to shave his beard off. You know, he's going to sing a song. There's a lot going to happen. Zishan, thank you very much for your $8.99 super chat to start the day, or the show, sorry. Even and all, absolutely buzzing. What a team, what a manager. Can't wait for Talk Sport in the morning. Hopefully Laura Woods gives Jamie a bit of how we're the lads. Yeah, he's already put that he's dreading going into work tomorrow. Be quite funny. Total Spurs TV has joined us. I just want to say well deserved. Can't be there for the live stream. 4th place. Don't get a nosebleed now. Good game. Thank you very much.
Fair play.
Thank you very much.
Play. Very good.
Indeed. Paul Gallant, very good evening, everyone. What a win. Get in 3 points and 4th. How are the lads? Miggy is magic, says George. Different player, Billy.
Christ almighty. He's it's just amazing. You can't even compare what he was this time last year to what he is now. He's playing in a position that he likes to play in. We're getting the best out of him in every possible way. The lad's got a smile on his face again, and when he's doing that, he's an absolute threat to anyone we play against. You know, and the goal today was just a phenomenal goal, wasn't it? He's been doing that all season now, and he's been doing it all pre-season. You know, the lad's an absolute gem, and it's fucking fantastic we've got him on our side. Seriously.
Yeah, it's just an incredible win. And Alex, I mean, I know you joined us after the show, after the match, and still buzzing from that.
Yeah, massively. Just to see everything on social media and all the community interacting in a positive way. It's hard we've had a lot of negative people and a lot of people who were underestimating what we could do and were unsure, saying we didn't spend enough, we don't have, you know, this position. People are struggling to find ways to be negative now because it's just so good. It's so good. And yeah, just as buzzing. Great to go into work tomorrow because everybody supports Liverpool, Man United and stuff. We're above them all. We're in 4th.
Yeah, we are.
Long may it continue.
Indeed. James says, hello, all you wonderful people. I've not seen our club in 4th in the Premier League for nearly 20 years. Shearer was still playing. So happy. Gary says, what a great win. We win it, nothing lucky about it. There was no luck involved today. We played bloody well. V, thank you for your $8.99 super chat. Glad I've got a week off. Think it might take that long to come down. No fear of anyone ever again. Believe. Absolutely. A quote from City AFC on Twitter. Newcastle are a serious problem, though they weren't supposed to be this good at this stage. They've barely even dipped into their funds yet. How is a genius? That's coming from an Arsenal fan.
Well.
So, yeah, look, he is. And again, he swerved us a curveball again today with the team lineup. This is how we lined up. We went with Pope, Trippier, Schär, Botman, Burn. Again, no changes at the back, which is not well. I went with that team. I went with that back four, I believe.
Might as well.
Yeah, Bruno, who travelled down to London yesterday, who's had a bit of a whirlwind last few days. Longstaff kept his place. Willock, Almiron, and Joe Linton and Wilson. So, of course, Murphy down to the bench. Were you surprised, Danielle, to see that team?
I was surprised that Joe was starting because I thought he might be a bit of an issue today with his knee. I was surprised. I was confused over whether Joe Linton was going to be in the left or whether it was going to be Joe Willock. But other than that, no, those were the two big changes or the two big talking points really that I found from the team. But it doesn't really matter now, does it? It doesn't really matter who we put out. We just seem to be like together. We're just all amazing. They're all amazing, all of them.
Of course, Sky again asking Eddie about money during his interview.
I've got a lot to say about this, right? Money, right? Money. What we won't buy any players in, we won't improve our squad. I don't understand what this problem is. We haven't gone out and spent 300, 400, 500 million. We haven't brought, a player like Haaland, Mbappe, all of them. We haven't. A lot of the team, the backbone of this team, were here prior to this takeover. And credit has to go to Eddie and the team. Absolutely. Has to.
I just think it's disgusting. Our back five, Danielle, our back five, including Pope, cost less than Harry Maguire.
That's what I mean. So, what we're supposed to do? Come on, man.
Look, of course we're going to spend money. Of course we are to improve the team. But what team doesn't spend money to improve the team? Man City have been doing it. Liverpool, £90 million they spent on a striker.
I know one. Pre-takeover Newcastle United.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. Good point. And look, we're going to spend money. So what? If it's available, we'll spend it. Same as any other team. Nunes, 90 million quid from Liverpool. Like Alex has said, 80 million pound for Harry Maguire. Look at the money Manchester United have spent. Just give it a rest. But you know what it is? It's actually funny now because, let them rant, let them rave. They hate Newcastle being where they are. It's disrupted the Big Six. Tim Howard said on American television that it's now the Big Seven. So, up yours to the media. Newcastle United are back. We are back. And it's safe to say we are back. We may not finish where we are right now, but believe me, we're back and we're challenging again. So all you negative Nancy's out there can just do one. All right? Crawl back inside your little asshole and cry.
Yes.
Simple as that. Andy says Arsenal fans were celebrating and then thought, oh, God, we haven't played them yet. Gary says, good evening, Toon Review family and everyone in the chat. Jordan says, we've got Bruno in the middle. Exactly. Jordan says, what a life, not just an afternoon. It's a roller coaster. It's a roller coaster. Andrew, good evening. Farley's done an impression of Harry Kane's response to the match already. I haven't seen that. George, good evening. Julie J, good evening on this fantastic evening. Gary says, I've just rewatched the highlights and caught up with all the interviews. The Bruno Wilson interview was class. Oh. Definitely a lot of love for each other in the dressing room. Well, the morale is fantastic, Alex, isn't it?
Yeah, it's crazy just seeing how Wilson was interacting with Bruno in the interviews and how they all were on the pitch together after they were putting in strong tackles, supporting each other. The link-up play again was just great. The way Trippier and Miggy have been connecting together in the middle. We saw that last week. No, it was midweek. Schär protecting Trippier as well. There's such a togetherness, and it shows on the ball, off the ball, whether we're defending, like Burnley, or whether we're attacking like City. It makes no difference. It's crazy. It's testament to to all of them because it's not been very long. And let's be honest, everybody out there who works will know that their boss will try and create this togetherness. And we know it's work, but we're a family, we're a team, really. And yeah, but how many actually pull that off? It's quite rare to be in a. Let's not forget this is a workplace that they're in.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of footballers treat it as a job. And they are treating it as something else. They're treating it like a family, and it just makes such a difference on the pitch. You can see it.
Without a shadow of a doubt. Zishan, thank you for another £4.49. He says, I have to admit, I hammered Miggy a lot. In fact, a lot of us did.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only one who backed him was Alex. Alex knows his stuff, man. Pundits can F off. Listen,
Indeed.
he
Well
did back him. Yep, no doubt about it.
I will eat humble pie and say it's the data. It's not that I know it. I'm just reading data and watching performances and making an argument. It's not me. And I hope it encourages people to go and look at more data instead of just listening to, like, you can listen to pundits, ex-players and experienced people have value, but there's more to it nowadays with how the game's moved on. And it's important to look at data. That's why Sky Sports and these other platforms are showing more data mid-game, post-game. They're doing more in-depth analysis because the clubs all do it. And that's why the game's changing. So yeah, data. That's why.
But listen, I don't think there's any Newcastle fan that isn't happy for Miggy. You know what I mean? He's turning it round, and it's just brilliant. Phil 13, thank you for your £5.
Oh,
That might be Paul's internet. So should we carry on in the meantime?
yeah, let's carry on.
£5 super chat, I think.
Yeah. Right. So it's a £5 super chat from Phil 13. He says, I say it again, Toon review, beginning to believe. I don't know where we got it here in the comments, but we'll try and go back where he was.
I'm back.
I've read the super chat out, though.
Which one?
Phil 13.
All right. We've got another one for Peter Griffin. I was sitting with the Spurs fans trying to keep my mouth shut. What a performance. After that showing we're a serious player for Europe this season, the physicality and high press was exceptional. Hard to pick a man of the match. Yeah, it was hard to pick a man of the match. I know who I'm picking. There's no doubt about it. But we'll come on to that a bit later. Carl says, evening. I loved Eddie's interview on 606 with Chris Sutton and Robbie Savage. He said that was the best performance since he became manager. I can't argue with that because we played some great football. But the fact is that Nick Pope didn't have a save to make, Billy, after Harry Kane scored. You know, we thought that the avalanche might come. But you know what it is? I was sitting there doing the commentary and thinking, I'm not worried, you know, because we can defend.
How many years have we had leads going into the last 10 minutes and the old ring piece would twitch quite a lot? Because you knew they were going to score, you knew. But these days, we manage the game so much better. We get the ball in the right areas of the pitch and we defend properly. And it's just a different kettle of fish to what we've been used to for years and years and years. Again, that's down to the manager. And no, the team have got confidence, they've got brains, they've got common sense, they know what they're doing. Yeah. It's all in that. So I never felt they were going to score after they scored the first. And in fact, I didn't think the first one should have been allowed, if I'm perfectly honest.
Well, yeah, I mean, Alex did say that he thought it did come off Sanchez's head. I think it did, but listen, it doesn't matter now. It's all water under the bridge. No.
But there was two VARs in a minute, weren't there? Where we should have had a penalty.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you know that. I've seen them given. I've seen penalties given for those sort of handballs, but it doesn't matter.
Well, we mentioned this, didn't we? How we have to start. We're not going to get that many decisions, so we have to make sure we are clear via open play and goal scoring, so that when those decisions do go against us, we win anyway because we've just got that cushion, and that's what we did today. We gave ourselves enough of a cushion from stuff they couldn't disallow, so that then when it did go a bit array, that they still couldn't catch us, even with a bit of support. Arguably, that could have been 3-0 to us with a penalty for, like, you've seen that handball given in many games, to be fair.
Dan Good did it when he's facing the other way.
He did.
Yeah. So, arguably that on another day, that could have been 3-0 to us, never mind 2-1. So they were fortunate. So whichever way you spin it, they're not getting anything out of that game. We always win that game.
Yeah. King Hoddle says, congratulations, Newcastle. You were well organised, resilient, and played without fear. You deserved the win. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
There is some very decent fans out there who do understand football. Francisco says, good evening, everyone. Cheers from the hot Caribbean. Some happiness on what has been a dreadful week personally, and one that promises to be the same. Anyways, great job, Paul. Love to all of you. You stay safe out there, Francisco, and keep in touch, buddy. Dat Warlord, thank you for your 449 super chat. Sorry I'm not in all your lives, but I watch live or not up the mags. Great stuff. Thank you very much. Danielle, the first goal obviously went to VAR. Now, when I first saw it, I thought, Lloris had come out and made a mistake. He misjudged it. And, Callum Wilson couldn't do anything. I mean, he put his arm out, but that's what he does to slow himself down.
I think he committed. He was already committed to it. So I don't know what I thought. I mean, I obviously I was celebrating, and I thought, I don't know about this. I don't know if this is going to be given or not. But then when they played it back, I just thought, I don't know how that could have not been given, really, for me. But then I suppose it's hard to be impartial, isn't it? Because I was like, that's absolutely a bloody goal. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah, exactly. But he took it so well, didn't he? Considering on his weaker foot,
absolutely.
spun and just lifted it over them. I mean,
we needed that though. I think we talked about that in the review show. If the Everton game, we really, really needed it, because we're talking about how he wasn't getting much service or whatever. And this time we just took it on and just saw I'm just going to do it, which is what he did. He committed to it and put it in. Brilliant. Just what he needed. Happy for him.
Wonderful finish. Mick Lingard, thank you very much for your £20 super chat, my friend. Fantastic result. All the boys were class. Les says, brilliant win. On my way to Orkney, so I missed the game. Got into a hotel room and saw we won. Brilliant start to a wee mini break. You have a good time, Les.
Lovely.
Samsonite says, Farley TV obviously had a great interview with Harry, obviously Kane, who, as you know, is now calling himself a Geordie because he was born in a village outside Newcastle called London. Indeed. Ab says, I think that was our best team performance under Eddie. Simply brilliant. Yeah, look, the fact that we played so well, but I was on about. We spoke, Alex, about Sean Longstaff at half time, and just that I mentioned before the match started about him. It's very important that he doesn't give the ball away in dangerous situations that Tottenham can break. Now he did that in the first half, which Nick Pope made a very good save from Harry Kane's low shot. But then after that, I thought he improved in that first half. And then, of course, he was wise enough to see where Lloris was going to take that goal kick, intercepted it, nodded it down to Miggy, and, the little Paraguayan magician just did the rest.
Yeah, I mean, it's important to have a player like Longstaff, because we can't overhaul the squad overnight, as we've talked about. Even in the January transfer window, and even by next summer, we're still going to have these names. We're still going to have 3, 4, 5 of these guys, and rightly so. They deserve it. And we need somebody to be able to step up like Longstaff. Ultimately, yes, he makes mistakes. He has made a fair few mistakes, but he's also contributed in a positive way. And he's been integral in draws and wins against all of the European finishers. So he's obviously doing something right. He does look like he's visibly improving. And I think he will be aware of giving the ball away and slipping a little bit, or maybe dropping awareness slightly. It will be something they're working on with him. And I'm happy enough with him. I'm seeing visual improvements week to week. I don't think he's great, but he's good. And I think that's enough. He's not meant to be a top starter. We know he's not. But he's doing more than adequate at the moment, and he's helping us get point after point after point after point, and he's putting in good shifts. And and he's a Geordie, so I think it's great.
Darren says the 2 very winnable but tricky games to come up. Then Chelsea at home, and they won't fancy it. We really could be solid in the top 4 during the World Cup, meaning anyone would want to sign in January. Love it. Yeah, listen, why not? Why not think big like that? We've had so many years of oppression. Why can't we think big, Billy?
Yes, absolutely. We put ourselves in a fantastic position. We played some really good sides, some top. I think any one of the so-called big 6, apart from Chelsea, and Arsenal, are the only ones we haven't played. We've been to Liverpool, should have got something there. We've been to Manchester United, deserved to win there. We've been to Tottenham today, we've won there. We shouldn't be scared of anyone. And I'm not thinking top 4. I'm thinking higher than that. I'm thinking let's go for the lot. Let's do it.
Can you imagine? Yeah, God.
Seriously, let's go for the title. Why not? The way we're playing at the minute, what's stop us?
Well, listen, it happened to Leicester, didn't it? You just never know in football. But I mean, look, there's nothing wrong with being positive, and you'll always get the people saying, you know what, you've only played 11 games or whatever it is. Just calm down. You know, don't get carried away. Well, I'm sorry, but when you see your team playing as well as we are, and where we are, and who we've got playing for us, you know, after what we've been through as fans, we're going to get like that. And sod it. Why not? It's about time that we had a bit of celebration.
Yeah.
You take them VAR things out of the way, we'd be top now.
We would actually, yeah. Terry Cook, thanks for your $8.99. Super chat. This is a brilliant performance from the team today. Miggy's goal was awesome. Bring on the Villa. Indeed. Annie, good evening. For the first time, you lot were utterly brilliant. That was a really good performance and completely deserved. That is the first time you've ever said that, Annie. So,
I hope you're feeling better, Annie, as well, because you were a bit poorly yesterday. So I hope you're feeling better, mate.
Get well soon, Annie. V says, we can win against anyone now. Remember that, guys. What's the matter, Alex?
Annie, are you okay? You all missed the opportunity there.
I won't pay disrespect to a dead man. David Smith, thank you very much for your £4.49 super chat. It must be crossing the board's mind to splash the cash in January to cement the top 4. We'll see. I
mean, this is what West Ham had, didn't they? They pretended to bid for a bunch of people in January, and Moyes was very angry about that, and rightly so, because they could have kicked on potentially if they'd have had a bit more, if they'd have had a few more signings. So it would be interesting to see what we do. I would imagine they would be the sort of owners that are more likely to pull the trigger and do the opposite to what the West Ham owners did.
Yeah,
indeed.
But yeah, if we can add reinforcements to solidify points and stuff, then January's going to be very fun.
It is. Spike Milligan, thank you for your £20 super chat. He says there's a lot of little green men out there from the planet Envy. Brilliant quote. That is a brilliant quote. Stephen Siddle, thank you for becoming a new member. Welcome to the Members Club of the Toon Review family. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you to everybody for supporting the channel. You guys are just seriously
incredible.
Awesome, man. You really are. Les says, even all, great result today, and Kane whinging as per normal. What did you make of the whinging from Harry Kane, Danielle? Because you know, he's getting a bit of a reputation now for doing that, along with, you know, Ronaldo and Bruno Fernandes, etc. Just constantly on the referee for fouls, going up to the referee, asking him to book players, which I think for an England captain is disgusting, by the way.
He asked for a yellow card, didn't he? And I was like, who do you think you are, son? Like literally, who do you think you are? I mean, like, he's a good footballer. I don't like him personally, but I just think, what are you doing? Just embarrassing for
he's England captain. You know, you don't do that.
No,
it's
of course
terrible.
you don't.
Terrible sportsmanship.
The ref did understand him anyway, so it was all right.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Ref.
Billy, this has got him in your team.
Hey, you guys.
No.
Oh, did you get rid?
Yeah, but I got hard. I'll bit the bullet. Don't talk about fantasy football. Don't talk about fantasy football today.
No,
I was just curious.
Billy's not in the fantasy football zone at the minute. No. Trolls, thank you for your 50 Norwegian krona. Legend, thank you for your continued support, mate. Hi to I Like Coffee. Niall says, Boatman, I think he means Botman, a future captain, massive leader at the back. Yeah, we'll talk about him shortly as well. David says, I've just quickly been on the Spurs version of this. They are doing their heads in at Conte. Brilliant. Look, did I not say, Alex, if you recall, during the preview, that Conte plays very negative stuff, and I thought Spurs, I mean, I don't know what kind of system or football they tried to play today, but it was, I mean, their defense is absolutely hopeless. How many times did Eric Dyer kick the ball out of play? I mean, he almost scored an own goal. You know, that free, Lloris kicked it to him. He went to play it back, and he put it in the bottom corner. He's dreadful.
I think it was a few things. I think they underestimated us somewhat. I think, to be fair, I underestimated us as well. We didn't look like we've just played 2 matches in the same week.
Yeah.
We looked really fit, surprisingly. I expected us to die off a little bit, and we didn't really until it got to like the 80th minute. We were fine. I think they underestimated our fitness, our technical ability, our fighting for second balls, fighting for everything, our press. They underestimated the lot. Maybe Conte didn't, but he sure as hell didn't translate that message very well to the players, to the Spurs players. And their whole system of absorbing pressure and squeezing and not pressing too much and hitting on the counter, it worked for half an hour, and then it just didn't really work. I mean, their goal was from a corner. It wasn't great. That they're quite happy to cede possession and concede shots, but you've got to be careful against us because we've got some good finishers with Wilson, and Miggy is now getting 3 or 4 chances of that nature from the right wing in most matches now. You've got to be careful, and I think we're too good for them to, like, the same as Man United. Man United have got some reasonably good finishers, and they're improving.
Mm-hmm.
And they made the mistake against Man United, and they've made the mistake against us. You can't play that way when the opposition have got really good finishers. You can't give away that many shots in a top quality league.
I think in the second half, though, there was confusion about where they were supposed to be playing.
There was, yeah.
Well,
Son didn't know where he was supposed to be, and he was trying to get the bench's attention to see, like, where am I supposed to be? I think
they missed Hoyvier today without a shadow of a doubt.
Definitely.
He sort of keeps the midfield. He's kind of the disciplinarian in that midfield, and they missed him. Bentancur is a very, very good player, but again, we kept him. I was a little bit worried, I must say, when the balls kept coming over the top. They looked like they could get through us, but then we recovered and just played fantastically well. Ricard, thank you very much for yours. 50 Swedish krona. Share fantastic again. His passing today was quality. And another new member, Trevor Lockie, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much for your membership, and welcome to the Toon Review family, my friend. Of course, all the members, we do regular members draws. I must post these winners out tomorrow. Busy day of postage tomorrow. So thank you very much to everybody. We will be doing some more members giveaways as well. Tom says, Sky, after the match, said there's a new threat in town. Yeah, and they don't like it. They do not like it.
They said to me, like, and it's here now. Like, as if it was like, they were kind of putting a message out to say, actually, we didn't expect this from Newcastle. So, unlucky Sons, because there was
definitely a sea change there. And I thought Carragher was really praising us, really praising us. And even Jamie Redknapp was through gritted teeth doing it. So I think there might be a little
but he said it was a foul on Loris. He's a fucking idiot, man. No way. Super Gumba says, and I will say it again, best quote I have heard was, Kane, go take your go and take your chin for a shite, from Paul. Love it. Yeah, I did. I lost my temper with him at one stage. There you go. Mike Trember, thank you very much for $5 New Zealand dollars, my friend. What an epic win. Calmness personified. This channel matching the team's performance. Incredible. Onwards and upwards together. Thank you very much, Mike. Really appreciate that, my friend. Jamie Redknapp quote, Sven Botman at the back. We've seen some good centre-backs in this league, but he's got the capabilities to be better than them. He's a real leader of men. What a special player he is.
Keep your hands off. Everyone can keep their hands off. He's not for sale.
They can bloody well sod off is what they can do. Matt says, good morning, everyone. What a win. A nice way to wake up on a Monday. Yeah, you Aussies will love your Monday morning. Simon says, beat Villa Saturday. Surely Howe gets manager of the month. Well, you'd have to say that he must be in with a shout, surely. John says, this all started when we played Arsenal at the end of last season. You could see the turnaround. I agree.
That was a special night, that was.
It was, because the press was there. We give them a
was there.
We just give them a really rough time. Ian says, evening, Paul Milmaro, Danielle, Billy and Alex. What an amazing performance. And for me, we controlled the game and looked top 4 all day. Yeah, you said that at half-time, Alex, didn't you? You said we actually looked like we belong there.
Yeah, I mean, we were matching them. Apart from the counter-attacks, which, to be fair, we expected. I don't think anybody's going to shut them down with the quality they've got. Like Basuma and stuff, and Bentancur, the quality of passes they've got, and then through balling to players like Son. That was always going to happen, but we were matching them. The first 10 minutes, they barely touched the ball. I mean, Son got through after about 10 minutes, but that first 10 minutes was all us. We were playing some beautiful football, some switches, some 1-2s.
That ball from Fabian Schär to Joe Linton was just another dream ball, wasn't it? And that's what gained my confidence, to be honest. I thought, wow, that kind of ball, we can get in behind them like that. We've just got so many ways of breaking them down. I just thought they were hopeless in defence, Tottenham, absolutely hopeless.
I mean, I was waiting for, because normally what happens is we get a good grip on a game, and then it'll go back to the other side having a spell, us having a spell. But it never really sort of came for Spurs. They didn't have that spell. They had some counters, but for the most part, I wasn't too concerned. And I was waiting for Tottenham to turn up a gear, and I don't think they could, because I think we were just matching them so well. We were at their level for the game. I mean, hence why we beat them. So,
And I mean, did any of you? I mean, I'm seeing a couple of things in the chat saying we should have had a couple of penalties. I don't think we did. The handball maybe is in the second half. As we said, we've seen them given against Dan Burn before when he wasn't even facing the ball. So, a little bit rough, that one. I think the foul on, it was a coming together with Joe Linton after that share ball. For me, it wasn't a foul at all. I just think there was a couple of coming together, nothing to give a penalty for. Had Tottenham got a sneaky penalty, then I would have gone ballistic. But there you go.
It's like swings and roundabouts, isn't it? When it's your team, it's like it's definitely a penalty. But when it's not given and it's it's going against you, then you're buzzing, aren't you? Because you're like it's absolutely not. But it's one of those things. Look at this. Was it last season when we got that cheeky penalty at Tottenham? Yeah. And we probably shouldn't have had it, but hey, we took it, didn't we? And we got,
Mind you, what I will say is I think the VAR looked at every possible angle to try and disallow Callum's goal.
Offside, handball, everything.
Yeah, they tried everything, every angle, every possible outcome from it. It just went on forever. And I was screaming during the commentary saying, there's no way that is disallowed. It's just not a foul. Eventually, obviously, it came to fruition that it wasn't a foul, and we got on with it. Were you worried, Billy, that they might have disallowed it?
No, I thought once the ref give it, I thought they'd have to find something clear and obvious to disallow it, and they couldn't. As simple as that. I thought their goal could have been because I thought there was a definite deflection off Davinson Sanchez, and I thought that would put Harry Kane offside, and also maybe pulling Kevin Trippier back as well. So there was a couple of reasons to disallow their goal, but no, I didn't think Callum Wilson was ever going to get disallowed.
Absolutely. Good evening to Mrs. Toon Review, who is in the house. Annie says, I was left unconvinced before as to whether your league position was false or not. This has turned me, to be honest. I'm convinced you'll finish in the top 6. Any of you had a bang on the head or something? Are you feeling all right?
He was feeling a bit poorly yesterday, so
yeah, doctor.
Rochi says 15k. Paul is getting his cheeks out. The only cheeks that you'll ever see from me are these ones on my face, my friend. Botman is incredible. Chi Kyong Foon says great win, but how did we not get awarded a penalty for a clean, obvious handball by Cessignon? It was actually Sanchez, wasn't it?
Emerson Royal, I think. Emerson Royal,
yeah.
No, it's one of the two. They were both
Emerson
shit.
Royal.
Yeah. Oliver says, I cried after the Bruno and Callum interview. I love my club and I love you all. Thank you, Oliver.
It's emotional though, isn't it? Because it's
what it means.
Yeah, we're not used to all this. We're just not used to all this. No. Robert says, good evening, everyone from Malta. What a win. Grim says, Miggy's in Beardsley mode right now.
He is, yeah.
I tell you what, the way he just shrugged off Cessignon, right? And then just destroyed Longley for pace. It was just fabulous. And he still had a lot to do with the finish, let's not forget. And
this is no accident. I mean, he did this against Palace, didn't he? Shrugged off his left back. And this has been coming for quite a while now, to be fair.
The only thing that I really wish Miggy would work on is his right foot. I really do, because there's certain times in that match again where he could have whipped the ball in on his right foot, but he can't. But listen, that is a very slight niggle with Miggy at the minute because
he might be working on it.
Well, he could be. Yeah, I mean, listen, he did try one which ballooned about 900 foot in the end, came back with snow on it.
It's worth mentioning. We've discussed a lot about these inverted wingers and about not getting crosses in. This was a perfect display of why we're playing inverted wingers for possession retention, recycling the ball across and switching it and waiting for that opening. A lot of this is so. For example, when Bruno tries those little dink high balls, that's because we've been pushing it left, right, and waiting for a space before somebody creative thinks there's a way in. That's the whole point in playing this way, and it is working. I agree. At times, it'd be nice to see some natural wingers just float a ball in, but it's working. And it's very pretty to watch.
There's no doubt about it. Listen, it's a tiny gripe. I mean, Miggy's just outstanding right now. He really is. Spacebar says Miggy has officially been debruced. Red Randy says we all better get our passports renewed. Just got mine renewed last year. I'm ready.
And me.
I'm ready to go.
Mine's still in date, so I'm good.
Yeah. Nathan says would happily have nicked a result today, but not the case. Controlled the game throughout. Toon Dave says Miggy looks like another new signing in the way he's been coached. Unbelievable. His run and finish today were pure Messi-esque. yeah, if Messi had scored that goal, it would have been all over Sky Sports News for the next 3 years. You know, you just know it would. But there you go. He says, hello, with my dad playing a board game. It was a brilliant game today. We were buzzing and shouting fourth. Absolutely. Tony loves the flying Paraguayan. I think at one stage I called him a beautiful little Paraguayan bastard or something at one stage when he scored. Something along them lines. But how could I not? John Clifton, thank you for your £5 super sticker. Very kind, my friend. Graham says, today's result, fucking love it. Absolutely. Paul says, this will get us noticed. Players will see the project now and want to sign. Do you think that'll make a difference, Danielle? Certainly moving into the transfer window in January, do you think this, you know, if we are around 4th to 6th in the table, does this get us noticed? And remember, you've got players talking to each other as well.
Absolutely, and of course it will. I mean, you know, but in previous windows we've had, you know, we've approached players and they've been kind of not wanting to come to us because they wanted European football or they wanted, you know, the top end of the league, and we're now at the top end of the league, and we're now in, I don't even want to say what position we're in right now in terms of Europe. I can't say it. I just can't do it.
Danielle, we're in a Champions League spot.
Oh my God, I feel sick, don't I? I mean, I can't.
Just mental, man, isn't it?
Yes, of course it is. So, I mean, it's certainly not going to hurt. But we need to just keep consistent, keep taking each game as it comes. Let's not get carried away from that side of things. I mean, don't know what I'm saying about it. I'm like, you know, get my passport out of my backpack.
Why not? Why can we not dare to dream? You know what I mean? We've had so much shit for 15 years. It's about time that we as a football club can dare to dream. And us doing podcasts or whatever it may be, let's dare to dream. Passports at the ready. Get the flights booked. We're getting to Europe, people. Jeanette Johnson, thank you very much for your £5. I'm still pinching myself. I feel like I'm dreaming. I'm so happy for our fans. We deserve it. Exactly.
You do deserve it.
And Will Smith should bring out a brand new single. Get Miggy with it.
Sounds good to me.
Absolutely. Nah. Get Miggy with it. Alan says Miggy is a lot more composed than he was last season. The new system really suits him, and his newfound confidence is a massive plus indeed. Absolutely. Grim says, imagine what it's going to be like if Joe Linton finds his shooting boots. Hey, he nearly scored in that first half. What a hit that was, by the way. I mentioned it in the commentary. We've seen him do that before at Morecambe in the Carabao Cup a couple of years back.
Yeah.
When he cut in from that side and blazed one in the top corner. That was not far away, guys. Not far away at all.
Coming.
It is. And listen, I thought he worked his ass off again today. And he can't have been fully fit. I
was a bit worried when he went down and he was holding his knee. I thought, oh, no.
He does that every game, to be fair. I think towards half time he's gone down for a bit. Just play this half out, make sure we go in 2 goals up. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Christopher Davis says, Miggy now turning all this graft and endeavour into creativity and goals. He deserves every bit of this as he never gives up. Absolutely. Yeah. Johnny says, I won a £5 off a free bet with Wilson's first goal as well. Bought our lass a chippy home. Happy wife, happy life. Well, there you go. Stephen says, Sean Longstaff was caught in possession once, but hats off to the lad. He covered every blade of grass. Yeah, look, I think we've come to the conclusion now that, you know, Sean will make mistakes because he's not the caliber of a Bruno. But listen, he worked his ass off today. All of them did. And Sean, to be fair, you know, he could have put his head down when he lost that ball and almost conceded a goal with Harry Kane. He didn't. He got on with it. And that shows a lot of strength and in a mentality as well, which was pleasing to see.
I think he performed above his skill set today. I thought he was outstanding. I thought Sean Longstaff was absolutely outstanding today.
He did make some very good runs as well, didn't he? You know,
the attack.
He started to play a nice little work with Bruno and Miggy, to be fair. You know, and sort of he's making them darting runs into the box now. He did that a couple of times in the first half.
A few right wing overlaps, a few little chip passes to start attacking moves. It's definitely because he's training with better quality and playing with better quality. It's rubbing off on him, definitely. He's
undoubtedly. It's fantastic. It's bloody awesome, guys. I mean, this is just dream world. Manic Monday says, it's tough to remember a time of supporting Newcastle with this much emotion halfway through the league. Well, we're not halfway through yet, but if we're still in this position halfway through, Jesus Christ.
Oh, my God.
Quadruple wins today, Danielle?
Yeah, so the under-21s won today. Also, Newcastle United's development team for the women's side won 2-1. And in the Vitality Cup, Newcastle women's first team won 12-0.
Yeah,
Who were they playing?
Absolutely.
The last who were they playing?
They were playing. Hang on.
Scotland.
Yeah. I don't know who they were playing. Hang on.
Behave. Len Simmons, thank you very much for your £4.49 super chat. Thank goodness we don't have to play Newcastle United because I'd be concerned.
That's a good point.
It is. Julie J, thank you for your £5 super chat. Been here before. No nosebleed here. Great to see us back where we belong. Mike Ashley. Hey!
We were playing Rutherford AFC, ladies.
Yeah. I don't even know where that is.
Yeah, but
John,
you can only play who's in front
exactly,
of you.
Exactly. Listen, 12 wins a fabulous result. It's just what they need, actually. Isn't it? It's just what they need after a couple of bad results, just to get a load of goals and get the confidence back. So, yeah, well done to the girls. Absolutely. John Joe says, "Oh, I feel so good. I just want us to do better than last season, and I'm happy up for the Toon." Les says, "What a ball by Botman for Wilson's goal, and what a finish!" Yeah, it was a brilliant ball. Just Lloris made an arse of it. Is there anyone in world football with a worse touch than Wood? Listen, I'm going to actually praise Chris Wood, and I'll tell you why, right? He came on today, and he did a job, right? He wasn't on for very long, but what he did do, he did well, right? He won a couple of free kicks.
He won one free kick.
Whatever, right? He won a free kick,
speed.
which again delayed time. He held the ball up a couple of times.
No, he didn't. He got pushed off the ball twice.
He ran it into the corner and got instantly tackled.
In the neck for not praising Chris Wood. He's come on the pitch to defend. He
won a foul. I'll give him
He's
that.
come on to defend, and we didn't concede a goal. So well bloody done to Chris Wood. All right? You two on the bottom, just shut up.
He did kill the clock for us. Fair play to him.
Exactly. Thank you. Hi, guys. Over the moon with the result, and Paul did amazing in commentary. Thank you very much.
I still love that picture. Pikachu in an NFC shirt is amazing.
Indeed. Longstaff made a couple of mistakes earlier, Sean, but after that, he was sound. Yep. Sound. Leonardo says Shelby coming back was great to see. Indeed, it was.
Yeah, we were shouting Harry Potter is coming for you in the living room. And obviously, still not a fan with the neighbours.
Disgraceful.
Indeed. But I don't care. I'm proud of him.
Absolutely. Jazzfruit says, I would have taken the draw before, without a doubt. Still a lot of room for improvement, but great result. A lot of room for improvement. I don't think there's a lot of room for improvement,
there is always
to be
room
honest.
for improvement, but
there's always room for improvement, but a lot? Wow. Some people, come on, Jazzfruit.
Temper those expectations.
Exactly. Hate to say this, but that Miggy goal reminded me of a peak Owen in his Liverpool days. Doesn't mean I like Owen, though. Love how he's changing these players around. It's incredible. I see what you mean there. Michael Owen did used to score quite a few of them goals, actually.
Nah, it reminds me of a prime Juan Mata at Chelsea, just constantly cutting in.
I knew there'd be a Juan in there somewhere for Alex. There was always going to be a Juan or a Juan.
Okay, just Mata then. Those left-footed shots.
Because you love you.
Chicken in a can of hole.
Yes, Alex.
Class. I've never seen Alex insult the Scousers before, but there you go. Mike says the handball decision bothered me, considering the burn one. Thought it would cost us, especially once they'd scored immediately. Yeah, but that's not. Josie says, hi, it's the Mrs. Computer, but said I could. Big fan of the show. John Hansen, aka Yorkie. Good evening, Yorkie. Dave says, Sky make out like we are the only team to waste time. Listen, what are we supposed to do? Any team that's winning away from home by a goal are going to waste time. Whether it be Newcastle
does it every game.
Exactly.
Liverpool did it against City when they were 1-0 up. They were wasting as much time as they could. Everybody does it. It's fine.
Listen, these boneheads, man, honestly. You see teams doing it whenever you're away from home. They'll slow it down. Teams that score up here, and go 1-0 up, they try and waste time. If
they hadn't have given them an offside goal, we wouldn't have needed to have wasted time. We would have probably tried to crack on. So
absolutely. Ramon Raphael, there's a name for you. Newcastle are playing this great without Isak and St. Maximan. Just imagine when those two come back.
I mean, for me, I was having a conversation with Lee today. Like, how would you have a conversation with Miggy and say, oh, by the way, we're now going to put Isak in your position if that is
No,
what he's
it's not
going to do.
happening.
It
It's
won't
not
happen. He's got
It can't.
6 goals.
The way we're playing,
Can't.
they're going to have to fight to get back in the
It's
team.
incredible, though,
And I
isn't
never
it?
thought
It's
I'd ever say
incredible.
that.
Absolutely fantastic.
But they are going to have to work to get back into this team.
Maxi and Isak, they do not, even when they're fully fit, they do not get starts. They can't come back in because we're winning and getting points all the time.
I mean,
They're going to have to wait for an injury because Howe is not rotating. Fraser is not getting minutes. Anderson's not getting minutes. I mean, and he made the right decision again. A bunch of us, I think Anderson was the only predicted lineup player that we got wrong. And fair enough because we beat Spurs. So, as we say, we just trust his lineups now because they're doing the job.
Yeah.
Indeed.
I mean, look, everybody's doing a job. And the fact is that, you know, as footballers, if you're playing well and you're keeping your place and you're winning, you don't change that winning mentality. And it doesn't matter what player's coming back. I mean, I'd say that Maxi was in a better position than Isak right now to get his place back because we always say about the left-hand side. But to be honest, I mean, the way Murphy's played, and by the way, did really well when he came on today.
He did.
You know, the way he was closing down again and really working his ass off. He's been a different player the last 4 or 5 games. Completely different.
Absolutely.
And this is the Eddie Howe effect. And there's no doubt about that. This man, this coach that we have, is simply a footballing genius right now. And listen, he was at Bournemouth. He got Bournemouth from the bottom of the lower league up into the Premier League for several seasons. And people keep harping back saying, yeah, he got a relegation. But let's be face it, he wouldn't have had that relegation had Villa not paid off the bloody goal line technology. Oh, it wasn't switched on. My arse. Right? It should have been them that went down. Straightforward as that. So he wouldn't have even had that on his CV. Load of crap. Tom says, Bruno looks so happy but very tired. I hope he gets some time to rest up and spend with his family this week. Well, he'll get some time with them, but he won't get any sleep, Tom. You know, new baby. No, won't happen.
Did you hear that apparently he drove down on his own as well after the guys are already gone? So he's had probably no sleep in the last 2 days and he drove down on his own and he put in that kind of performance as well. It's crazy.
It's incredible.
Just the dedication is just incredible. It really is.
The funny thing is he's not at peak age yet. This might not be peak Bruno. He could improve, possibly even considerably.
Well, he's going to, he is going to improve because we're going to get better players around him. We've got a manager who can listen. I think he could even improve Emmanuel Riviere. I mean, you know.
Well,
it's just the fact that we're all saying, you know, Bruno, Billy keeps mentioning that Bruno's potentially the best midfielder he's seen for the club. And we're all saying similar things. And this might not be his peak yet. There might be another level, which is frightening to think of.
I'm getting the fizz. I'm
getting.
Douglas, thank you for your $8.99 super chat. He says, hello, guys. Great result today. And I've just seen a pic on Facebook with Bruno's baby in a Newcastle top on.
I know,
and Bruno's
I've seen
saying
it.
This is for you guys. We have a Brazilian Geordie baby. Class, man. Yeah, unbelievable. How can you not get emotional, man, with all this?
It was from Anna, and she said, how are the lads? Come on, Daddy. And he had the little Newcastle top on wrapped in a blanket. Oh,
got something in my eye.
Who's getting onions in here?
Onions. I can't take all this. Basil Brush, good evening to you. We shopped smart. Club has done exactly what it said since the takeover. Keith says, good evening all. Great result today. Miggy is just incredible. Night of Knee Gaming. I think I saw Jamie Carragher choke on his own words when he had to say something positive about us. I swear he had nothing nice to say after the first goal. I was fuming, so biased. Look, well, that's why you turn that off and you listen to the Toon Review commentary. Simple as that.
Indeed.
Because, you know, yes, we're Newcastle fans, but we give it how we see it. And, you know, that's the way it goes on here. Tampa Toon, thank you for your $20 super chat. Predicted a Baby G bounce for a 2-1 during the lead-in to the watch-along, and Baby G delivered. How are the lads and lasses? Indeed.
I got it right as well. 2-1. Ooh.
You
did.
I'm glad you did. I'm glad you did, because a last-minute equaliser would have put me on. I didn't want that.
Oh, Billy.
Yeah, I was 1-1 with the Callum Wilson goals. I was somewhat close.
Well, I said 1-1 as well, but listen, who cares? We got 3 points, not 1. And we're in the Champions League spotlight. Oh! Jason Brown says, Paul, the best commentary I've ever heard anywhere, mate. This is what you were meant to do. Keep it up. Thanks, Jason. Really appreciate that, mate. Rossi says, it's unique how our team spirit is. Is there another team together more than us?
No.
I don't think so. I really do not think so. Anne says, this manager of ours talks a lot of sense when he's been asked questions by the media, unlike some. Andrew says, Danielle, I can officially say I'm now buzzing. Buzzing, man. Buzzing.
Mm-hmm.
David says, Danielle reminds me so much of Julia Tobin, who played Brenda in Auf Wiedersehen, Pet. No disrespect. I loved her. What a game and result today, and another great commentary, Paul. Thank you very much. So can we call you Brenda for a while, Danielle?
Being called worse, to be fair, so carry on.
Scream Neville. See if you've got the same. It might be perfect. Go on, say Neville.
Neville?
There you go. Perfect. Perfect.
It was actually. Chris War says 14 years of underinvestment. Whatever money we spend now is just making up for lost years. Antagonistic media loving types cry more. Indeed. Well said.
We've got Murdad and Liam Gallagher like trolling with each other.
I know,
They're amazing. This is crazy.
Yeah, it's mental. AG says, I think we will qualify for Europe, but concerned about this World Cup break. Hope it doesn't mess us up. Well done, lads. Proud of you all. It won't mess us up.
No, I think it's perfect.
One man will make sure that doesn't happen, and that's Mr. Howe. Because, we're going away to Saudi. He's going to still get them training, still drilled. They'll come back even stronger. Look what happened last year when we went over there. We came back in January. Bang! Straight into it.
Yeah.
And we never looked back, really, after that. So it was just bloody tremendous. Right, guys, we've got over 1,200 watching tonight, which is a fantastic viewing figures. Thank you, genuinely thank you from everybody here at the Toon Review for tuning into us. If you are liking the show, please do hit that like button. Help us move up those search results on YouTube and tell them something fantabulous is going on this channel. And also, please do subscribe if you're new. Become part of this Toon Review community with some wonderful, wonderful people who subscribe to the channel. And also the notification bell, which will let you know when we go live or we upload a video, which is practically every day of the week. And also, if you want to become a member, like so many people have done tonight, hit that join button underneath the video. If you're on iOS, you will need to go to a desktop version of YouTube, and that desktop version will allow you then to hit the join button. So please do that. We welcome all new members. We do lots of members giveaways, etc. So come and be part of the family. And of course, if you want to donate to the channel, like so many wonderful people have done already tonight, hit that $sign at the bottom of the live comments, and that will take you through that way. And if you want some Toon Review merchandise, this is where you get it from.
So let's get down to business. I've been waiting, think I wanna make that move now. Baby, tell me if you like it. Tell me if you like it now. I've been waiting, think I wanna make that move now. Baby, tell me how you like it. Let's get down to business.
So there you go, the toonreview.co.uk if you want to get some merch. Les H, thank you for your £3 super chat. And he simply says, Miggy 6, Grealish 1. Yeah, so let's not forget that. I think actually Grealish comments have done Miggy the world of good, to be honest. He's made them, and Miggy's never looked back.
You can only play like him, you don't?
Yeah, I want to play like him because I'm playing shit right now. I can't do a Brummie accent. Anyway.
Probably best that you don't.
I've got another money stat if we're talking about that. This is from Steve71 on Twitter, and it is a lovely summary. It extends what I mentioned about Harry Maguire. So our back five cost less than Harry Maguire. Our midfield cost less than Casemiro, and our front three cost less than Anthony. So,
read that. Indeed.
Yeah. Jazz Flute is disagreeing with you, Alex. He says, "Data, my arse. Almiron wasn't playing well, and he deserved the criticism, just as he deserves the accolades now."
Your arse then, because you're wrong.
Okay.
The data was showing it. Go and check out Kev Lawson's article he wrote for WA Scout. It's on the website. Go and have a look. He puts all the data up there. Talks about have a look at the preseason as well. It's all there to go and read. You've just got to go and have a look at it.
Yep. Ab says, hard to pick a man of the match as they were all fab, but I'll go for Botman. Geordie Howeman says, every minute or so I close my eyes and think back how I was feeling just over a year ago, pre-takeover. I'm now bursting with pride. I close my eyes.
Drew back the
certain. To see for certain. We're in the Champions League spot. Anyway, Stato, it's time for your graphics.
Yeah, average positions this week. Quite aggressive considering it's Tottenham away. That's pretty crazy. We've got 5 in their half, arguably 6 with Trippier on the halfway line. I haven't put their average positions in because we don't care, but they had 3 in our half for the majority of the game. So we arguably had 6. Bruno in the middle, in the little center circle. The song is accurate. His average positions is always bang in the middle. Although we do see him high pressing right the way up the pitch. He was on it. He must have been overtired because he definitely had another gear today. He was joining more of the press than he normally does. Longstaff quite high up, just behind Miggy, and he was doing his job really well. He was floating between helping out Trippier defensively, and especially after the first sort of 20-25 minutes with the counter-attacks. And then he was going up and supporting Miggy, found himself on the right wing a couple of times. Cher being kind of this central centre-back that's further forward, decided to go on a couple of runs, even did a few step-overs and had a lovely shot on target, which was pretty crazy for him. He always does strikery things at least once a game. Joelinton not really playing as a left. Well, kind of. You can see it's kind of symmetrical on both sides, but less
Willock was definitely supporting him, though, wasn't he? I mean, it was one or the other.
I think they complement each other quite well, actually. They've never really had much of a chance to play together because it was either on opposite sides or one was replacing the other. So it was quite nice to see them linking up because both of them are capable of a nice driving run. They didn't quite have the space to get into, but there were a few nice moments, a few good shots from Joelinton. Both getting into some good areas. I'd hazard a bet that in the future we might see these two combine to do some nice things. They're still both due a reasonable goal from open play as well. They are playing well. Burn not quite a little bit further forward. Again, there's been times where he's sort of been back here in the shape. There's been times where he's been on the halfway line. So it tends to vary, but Botman and Cher tend to be in the same positions with the average over the course of the 90. And then if we have a look at our actual game, I've got the main page on Sean Longstaff's page just to show you that he has 1 goal just there and 2 assists. So 3 goal contributions so far for Sean, being our probably, most people seem to rank him behind Bruno, Joelinton and Willock. So considering he's arguably our 4th choice midfielder, for him to be on 3 goal contributions is brilliant. So if we go down and have a look at the sofa score of the lads and have a look at this lovely 8.7 for Kieran Trippier. The midfield, strangely low ratings from sofa score. I'm not quite sure why, because they've got a lot of reasonably key statistics. One thing I did want to point out was Cher's got a very, very high. And if we scroll over and have a look, you can see just how much ground he covered. He was absolutely everywhere.
He went forward up on the right as well. Had that shot that Laurie saved. Brilliant skills, by the way.
Outrageous again today. He won. Do you remember last week it was 9 out of 10? It's 4 out of 4 this week. He's just not losing duels. He's just so tidy. 5 clearances. He blocked 3 shots as well with a tackle. He managed to have, 2 shots on target for a centre-back. Lovely. This doesn't read like a centre-back. It reads
like Philip Albert reborn, isn't it?
Yeah, it reads like an aggressive defensive midfielder does. It doesn't read like a centre-back stats. It's very peculiar. A little bit sloppy with the passing, but it was generally, he was pinging, 6 out of 13 long balls. A lot of his passes were he was trying to break lines. He was trying to dink him over the top or break lines. He was integral today. And if we move over to the FOTMob, I have a bone to pick with FOTMob. Where's the Joelinton shot? It's not here. I'm going to tweet them after the show. So I don't know why I don't know if they've not included that into the XG calculations as well. But I'm pretty sure it was from this sort of position, wasn't it? It was like left side of the box.
So.
Yeah, it was.
It's not here. So maybe somebody thought it was a cross. It was definitely a shot.
Definitely not a cross. He hit that with
unless they've put it in as Willock, maybe. I don't know. But so we actually got beaten by XG, but they were peppering our goal with a lot of soft shots. They had a few good quality chances. Son's 1-on-1 was he had a couple of chances here.
Well, that was the one that Nick Pope saved with his right hand, and then
that was this one.
So he cleared it away.
He had a 0.23 XG value, so not actually that high because of the angle. The goalkeepers can charge them down, a reasonable amount of times. So lots of, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 shots outside the box. We've got a lot of bodies in front of these shots. Mm-hmm. So they just got accumulation of XG based on just their shot volume. Whereas I think the quality of our chances were much, much better. We got the Wilson shot, which was that little dinky chip was a 0.3 XG. So that was quite a high value chance that could have gone in. And he scored it against Forest. Then obviously the Miggy goal was 0.37. When you're in that position, people generally score them sort of just under 50% of the time. And then the Wilson goal from all the way back here with a 0.11 XG was pretty low. I don't know how. He wasn't even looking at the goal before he decided to pull the trigger.
It's a striker's instinct, isn't it?
Was it left-footed? I think it might have even been left-footed. So he was facing our goal and he span on the spot, hit it with his left foot. I mean, that's got to be 25 yards. Absolutely brilliant. Just edged out on possession. We were winning possession. I think we were about 51% possession for the majority of the game. And obviously in the final 10 to 15 minutes when we were just trying to shut up shop, this has switched into their favor and they've just sort of exceeded us on passes. But for the important parts of the game, up to sort of 80, 85 minutes, we were on top with most of this. I do feel like they've potentially missed Big Joe's shot off as well. So they need to go and have a look at that. I'm going to see what they say. And as the injuries show, this is still missing Isak and Maxi and our other long-term injuries, and a cracking performance from all of these guys. And a natural shout-out for Pope as well. I thought he was a lot better today. Again, he's incrementally getting better. He's
been fantastic the last 3 games, I think. He's just covered his box so much better. The confidence is back.
It was his World Cup wobble, and then each game since then...
give him a wobble,
Well, each game since that wobble, he's gotten better each game, essentially. I thought today his distribution was a bit better. Every shot was just comfortably into the chest, into the stomach, claimed instantly. His high claim, I mean, his stats were actually reasonably good as well. If we click on Pope.
I'm sorry, but a 6.9 on FOTMob for...
It's because of his yellow card. It tanks your rating when you get a card. Which was a good card to take. It might have saved us the game. So 3 high claims again, 2 saves from inside the box. He managed to get 9 of those long balls to connect today, which was not bad. It is at a 20-23, but you've got to remember it's a lot easier for a centre back to hit a long ball than it is for a goalkeeper because a lot of it depends on the
kicks as well from the keeper.
Yeah, because if Fabian Schär's playing a diagonal ball into a runner, you're going to find that more often than not than a goalkeeper just booting it up pitch. It's a lot harder to get a success rate from a long ball from a goalkeeper. And he did very well. A couple of clearances. He was very quick out of the box for his defensive actions as well. Proper sweeper keeper again. He was out of the box. But watching it on TV, for people who were there, it was different. But on TV, the camera had barely panned to our side and Pope was already there, like right at the edge of the screen. He was so quick out of his box.
He just knows where to be.
Brilliant.
Right. It is time to do the all-important player ratings. Once again, we'll go around each of us and give the player rating, and that with the highest average is what he finishes with. Billy, we'll start with you and his thou holy one, Nick Pope.
Yeah, I'll give him an 8 out of 10. I thought he was very good today. And he kind of epitomised some fantastic shithousery, I've got to say. I thought he was fantastic at it.
I agree.
Some great time wasting, but he was fantastic. His hands was great. He made 2 or 3 really good saves. He was commanding.
Save with his foot as well.
With his foot, he came out. He swept brilliantly. Had a great game. An 8 out of 10 for me.
Alex.
I think that's fair. I think we've given him 7s recently, and I think this was a better performance than all of those 7s. So it's got to be an 8. Yeah. Again, I've just talked about him from my perspective. Really, really confident. Looks comfortable again. Doesn't look, what's the word? Maybe a bit. He doesn't look like that panic stare anymore. He just looks super calm. Yep. Hitting his distribution. Definitely an 8 out of 10.
Okay, Danielle.
8 out of 10 for me. I thought he was fabulous. Once again, I just think he's a cracking keeper. I'm so lucky to have him. Absolutely, 8 for me.
I'm going to give him an 8 as well. I think he made that brilliant save from Harry Kane. That could have been a game changer, guys. If they'd gone ahead, then it was people rave on about how David De Gea saves with his feet a lot and it makes him an exceptional goalkeeper. Then Nick Pope did exactly the same as what De Gea does. He couldn't get there with his hands. He uses his feet. Simple as that. It was a great save. So an 8 from me. Right, we move on to right back, Kieran Trippier. Alex?
This is a tough one because a lot of the stats are giving him a 9. And I don't quite think visually it was a 9, but yeah, I don't know. I'll give him a 9. I'll agree with it. I mean, the stats are pretty crazy with 4 tackles, 1 interception. He was working really, really well on that right-hand side. Very clever. He was winning little throw-ins by just dinking it off shins and stuff. Just really, really experienced
as well, which was fantastic.
And duels as well. A lot of people think he's not as tenacious in his duels. 7 out of 7 ground duels. So he won all of them. And 3 out of 5 aerials. So he's winning. He wins a lot in the air. And he drew 2 fouls, didn't give any away. 100 touches. Yeah, okay, I'm sold. It's a 9. The more I read the stats, it's a 9.
Yeah, 9 for me as well. Echo everything Alex said. I just loved the way he was calm under pressure. You know, with sort of late on in the second half, and he was playing those little balls off the shin to win throw-ins and just wasting a bit of time. So I thought he was excellent today. So 9 for me. Danielle?
Yeah, 9 for me. Also, he's you know, leadership skills are fantastic. I love the fact that, you know, if there's a decision that needs to be made, he's over sending players away, tells them to leave it and you know, to clear the area, because I know we're seeing it at Manchester United where, you know, they've recently got into trouble for doing the opposite. So I think he's a great leader. Fantastic.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was doing that, wasn't he? He was breaking up people crowding the ref. I'd forgotten.
Telling them to go away,
which I really liked. Billy?
I would have given him a 10 had he not been outmuscled by Kane at the far post. Thought he was outstanding. Apart from that, I thought he led the team superbly, as he always does. He's the kingpin of that unity that we've got. So yeah, a 9 out of 10 for me also.
Okay. Right, other side, Dan Burn. I'll start that off. I'm going to give Dan Burn a 7. I think he was steady away today. Nothing exceptional, nothing bad. Did the job. So a straightforward 7 for me. Billy?
8 out of 10 to me for Dan Burn. I don't think he was beaten once and without the whole game. Just, again, got a threat at corners and set pieces also. Yeah, I don't think he put a foot wrong, so 8 out of 10.
Danielle?
I'll give him an 8. I thought he was better today. What are you laughing at?
Nothing.
All right, okay.
Nothing at all.
I'll give him an 8. I thought he was better than against Everton. In fact, my predicted team, I was expecting him to go back into centre back and for Target to start. So I got that completely wrong. But yeah, he was good today, very good.
Cool. Alex?
I'm going to go with an 8 as well. I think he was much improved. 40 out of 43 passes. Very, very tidy, because he's been erratic at times recently and, you know, playing quick, panicky balls, but it was much, much better today. I think he was helped by them not having like a Lucas Moura or a Kulusevski starting from minute 1. There wasn't like a right-wing onus for him to worry about today, which I think helped his game a lot. But you can only play what's in front of you. Very, very solid. I think he deserves an 8 because he's had a few 7 ratings from us. And I think that was better than those 7 ratings. So I've got to give him an 8.
Fair enough. There's lots of 7 and 8s coming in the chat. John says, we have just gone into 4th in the Premiership with a magnificent performance, and you're giving 8s and 9s. Bloody hell, these players deserve 10s out of 10s all round. No, they don't.
Wait.
Or what if someone scores a hat-trick? What do you give them then if you give them a 10 for...
They all don't deserve 10s. There's no way that they're all 10 performances. That's just been... listen, it's your opinion, John. You're quite welcome to it, but that's why we like doing the player ratings, because everybody has an opinion on them. Right, centre backs. Fabian Schär. Danielle.
10.
There
He's just outstanding. He's just outstanding at everything that he does. He's not just as a defender; it's everything else that he brings to the game. Like, he's having shots, man. Like, you know, I just think he's just a fantastic player.
I love him.
I do, and in the fact that we're discussing perhaps him being dropped for the cells and rested, I was sweating a bit about that. So
he didn't take any bangs to the head today, so at least he's gone through 90 minutes without a concussion, which is nice to see.
Absolutely, so 10 from me.
Yeah, 10 from me as well. Echoing everything Danielle said, I thought he was absolutely superb today, and some of the way he was bursting forward as well. He's just a fantastic guy to have in your team, and just an all-round, just brilliant. Alex,
I'll give him a 9.
Boo!
Yeah. Well, I've got to give myself some room
That's
to
fair.
rate into, because like if he goes next game, if the next game he gives that performance and scores, I can't go any higher, can I? You trap yourself.
No, but there's nothing
So I'm
wrong
going to
with
go with a
11.
9.
tens and tens and tens.
Oh, 11.
I'll go with a
Means he
9.
had a fantastic game of football, which
He did have a fantastic game. Yeah, I mean, I'm waiting for one of the centre backs to start scoring again, because I think they're due one. They really are due something from a corner.
Great.
I'm really frustrated. Burn, Botman, and Cher, none of them have had anything in recent weeks, because I think they've been close to it. But Cher, Cher deserves a 9. I've already shown you his stats, just absolutely outrageous. 6 long balls, first half, second half, they were filthy. This is without Shelby's passing range as well. Just they didn't know who to close down, because if they sit off Trippier, Cher plays the ball. If they sit off Cher, Trippier plays the ball. If they go both of them and they sneak it to Bruno plays the ball, or Botman, they can all do it. They can all play these disgusting balls. And it's Cher gets a 9. He's just £3.6 million from Deportivo La Coruña. That is a steal.
See, when you said
$3.5 million.
When you said his ex-team there, all I heard was blah 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 blah.
A La Liga
That's not
team.
nice.
Like when you consider, I think it's so under talked about that Botman cost 37.5 million. Fabian Cher.
Well, you're right.
I mean, I don't think he's performing at Botman's level, but he's not far away, and he cost absolutely nowhere near the price. He's
I love how
incredible.
you corrected yourself earlier, Paul, when you nearly said David De Gea. So
Yeah.
I was waiting for Alex to do something, and then you went David.
Well, that's exactly why I said David, because I knew he would come in with it's not David, it's David.
It's Dave. Dave De Gea.
You want to buy some
Olivier
pegs, Dave? You want to buy some pegs, Dave? Billy, Cher.
Yeah, I did a bit of service last week when I called him the footballing beast to Sven Botman's beauty. He's got the beauty as well. The passing ability of the man is sensational. His ability to go past players and go forward and get shots in is sensational. And his defending was absolutely outstanding today. Can't give anything less than a 10. He was superb.
Okay, so a 10 for Fabian Cher.
Fabian Cher is everything we wanted Yanga Mbiwa to be.
Yes.
Basically. We thought he was going to be that, and now Cher's doing it.
And we were so wrong.
Indeed. Right, we'll move on to Sven Botman. 10 for me. Danielle?
10 from me. Rolls Royce.
Billy?
Yeah, and 10 again. Fantastic. Absolutely outstanding. Reads the game
And
so
Alex?
well. So well.
Yeah.
I'll give him a 9. I'm not giving people 10s unless they've had an outrageous performance.
But they did. Alex, you need to realise that these are centre-backs who have played absolute warriors for the last God knows how long, and their job is to defend. Their job is not to score goals, it is to defend, and they are defending absolutely magnificent.
For a Champions League challenging team, which we technically are now, it's expected of these centre-backs are getting 3 to 5 goals a season, right? With your John Terrys and so. You know, they want goals from their centre-backs. I'm just giving myself some breathing room to rate somebody a 10 when they score. That's all it is.
What if Fabian Cher scores? We get beat 5-1 and he's at fault for the fucking 5 goals.
Well, then no, he would get a bonus point for the goal, but he would get downgraded for the defensive errors.
Yeah, Ash has come up with a good point saying that watching Botman and thinking, wow, we used to watch Titus Bramble. Says it all. Says it all. Listen, 9s, 10s, doesn't matter. It's still fantastic. So whatever you go for. Right, we're moving to the midfield now. And we'll start with Sean Longstaff, and we'll start with you, Alex.
Oh, that's a tough one. Oh God, I don't know. I want to give him an 8 for a lot of his positive play, but then I feel like the mistakes drag it down to a 7 because he did lose the ball a couple of times in a dangerous area, and we could have been punished for that. That could have killed the game off. We could have lost. I'm going to give him a 7, but there were parts of his game that deserved an 8. But we can't ignore the mistakes. He has to be rated accordingly. But he got an assist today again, and he was integral in the press. He was brilliant. Very, very good job. He needs to be a bit more aware and stop losing that ball. Then he can get some proper 8s. But I'll have to give him a 7 for that.
Okay. I'm giving him a 9. I thought he was, yes, he made a couple of mistakes, but I thought he was awesome today. I really do. And listen, I've been really hard on Sean Longstaff and over the months, but listen, I thought the way he covered that pitch today, making the runs into the box, creating all sorts of problems. Obviously, assist for the goal. Listen, Bruno gives the ball away. Joe Linton gives the ball away, but we still rave about their performances as well. And I think because he played so well, apart from those mistakes, I think for the fact that he played so well, he gets a 9 from me. End of story. Billy?
Yeah, I'd give him a 9 also. I thought the legs of him as well. He's 90 minutes total running. It was dangerous. He joined an attack. He was overlapping on the right hand side. He got some great blocks in also. Okay, he did give the ball away a couple of times, but in Longstaff world, that was a great performance, and it's a 9 out of 10 for me.
Danielle?
I'm going to give him an 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
I mean, his stats are kind of what we said. It was a mixed bag. He'd got 34 out of 38 passes, which is 89%, which is really, really tidy. A couple of key passes and assist. Drew 2 fouls, didn't give away any, which was nice. Didn't give away any silly fouls. But then 3 out of 12 duels. He got a bit out muscled, but yeah, there were really, really positive parts and some negatives.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm giving him a score based on where I think he's come from recent performances.
Yeah, that's fine.
So I just think
That's fine.
If he can keep getting better and better, and maybe looking like the Longstaff that he was under Rafa, I think that's where really Eddie Howe wants him to get to.
Yeah,
back to that level. I'm
considering he's only started eight games and he's on 3 goal contributions again is brilliant. Like that's a reasonable return.
Abs is saying Pope will never get a 10. Yeah, it's really difficult, isn't it? Because he's not having a lot to do, so you can't give him a 10, really. But listen, I don't think Nick Pope will be asked. It's all about lack of goals. You know what I mean? That's
you've said it now. You've said it now, Billy. You never know.
He's going to get a hat trick next week. Now Billy said he's not going to score.
Yeah. Get him to take the penalties, and then we'll start ramping him up to a 10. Right, we move on to Joe Willock. Billy?
I'm going to give him an 8. I thought he was really bright at times. I thought, he did take it to the Spurs defence, and I thought he contributed as well defensively. But I just think he needs a goal, and I think we'll start seeing the performances that we've seen a couple of years ago.
Okay, Alex?
I'll give him a 7. I don't think he was quite an 8, just in my opinion. But he wasn't as involved as I'd have liked. He was a bit weak on the ball today. He was 1 out of 8 ground duels in the stats, and I saw that with my own eyes. I felt like he was a little bit weak. Would have liked a few more driving runs, but maybe it was instructional because we were, like we've mentioned earlier, we were just playing it across the box and waiting for spaces. He didn't do anything wrong, but I'll give him a 7. He did a few things right.
Okay, Danielle?
I'm going to give him an 8. I like Joe. I think he played really well today.
Yeah, I'm giving him an 8 as well.
You know what it is? I just really want him to score. Like, I really do. Because I think, honestly, like, how many games now has he been almost there and he just doesn't quite get there? And I just honestly, I think that his confidence would be so improved if he could just score a goal.
Yeah. Next Saturday.
Like, come on.
I think one of the reasons he was getting goals before was because Maxi was in the team. A lot of the second and third balls were falling to Willock in space. Yeah. And that, because we've not got Maxi, I think he's not getting those. He's not getting the chances fall in the sort of areas he was getting last season. I think it's just a bit different. He'll get there.
Grim makes a good point here. Longstaff doesn't hide when he makes a mistake, which is a fine positive.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I think that's very commendable to Sean because, he does make mistakes, which we know he does. But listen.
Everyone does?
Yeah. I just thought he was... right. So, I don't know what that meant, actually. I just...
No, I didn't either.
We'll move on to Bruno. Now, given the exceptional, crazy 72 hours that Bruno's had, I thought he was brilliant today. So he gets a 9 from me. Just an all-round solid performance again, Billy.
I gave him a 10 Wednesday. I thought he played better for longer today, but not in that kind of quality that he did on Wednesday. So I'll give him a 9 also.
Okay. Danielle?
I'm giving him a 10. So I'm giving him a 9 for his performance, and I'm giving it an extra point because he went out of his way to make the decision himself to come and join the squad when he could have easily have sat at home with his brand new baby and his partner and really took that time. But no, he wanted to be with the lads, which shows absolute fine commitment from me. So that's an extra bonus point for Bruno.
Yes, Danielle, if I'd have done that when my son was born, I'd have been castigated from here to high heaven. I need to be with the lads down the pub.
I mean, she's obviously understanding,
I was
isn't
wondering where you were
she?
going with that comment, saying, I need to be with the lads. I don't think his wife would really like that comment. I want to be with the lads. Never mind. I see where you're going with it, though, yes. Alex?
I'm going to give him a 10.
Wow, okay.
I'm going to go against my own rules because there's additional context for Bruno. He must be so sleep deprived, and the emotional energy that must take out of you to, having a child and being in that hospital. Presumably, I mean, we don't know when he was born. If he was born in the early hours of the morning, Bruno possibly had to stay up all night. So playing Premier League football at this level against a Tottenham side who are in third, regardless of performance, the fact that he was able to play 90 odd minutes and we won the game, sleep deprived. And as Daniel said, he drove down on his own. And he was putting in the 70th, 75th minute. So he was putting schoolboy tackles in. If they were through, if they were like driving into the box, he was just doing sort of ninja kicks on the floor just to try and sweep a leg away. He just gives everything with every single minute. So the fact he must be so sleep deprived, I've got to give him a 10 for that, because to play at that level while sleep deprived, I'm not sure there's many players in the world that can do that.
Right, move on to the front three, and we'll start with Joelinton. Alex?
I think I will give him... Ooh, that's a tricky one. I think I'll give him a 7. But I was very impressed with the performance because he's not used to playing on the left wing again. It's been a long time. And I think we mentioned earlier, the last time he played a proper game at left wing was against Norwich, which is a completely different caliber of opponent. And he adapted well. He worked well with Joe Willock. Got a shot away, even though Fotmob didn't register it. I think it was all right. I think he deserves a 7. I think the onus at the moment, I think that's why Joe Willock and Joelinton aren't getting super high ratings from me, because I think our onus is on the right-hand side so far this season, because Miggy and Trippier is just working so well. So, yeah, I'll give him a 7.
Okay. Danielle?
I'm going to give him an 8. I love Big Joe. I just think, do you know what? I know everyone laughs at us, right? But I just think he's got the passion that he's got, and I just think it doesn't matter where he plays. If he plays on the left, if he plays in midfield, if he plays up front, he gives it everything that he can. I just thought, I was a bit concerned, like I said earlier, about that knee, but it's in the second half when he went down in the cold Shelby off to go and get his jacket off and all that, and I just thought, oh no, please. But he stayed on the pitch, did really, really well. What a warrior. It's an 8 from me.
Big shout out to Rachel Weathermods as well. She'll not be around during the week because she's in a play this week. So best of luck, Rachel. I think, what did they say? Break a leg or something?
Break a leg, but don't.
Yeah. Really enjoy it, Rachel, and good luck and have a great time. And we'll see you back next week. Right, Billy, Joelinton.
Yeah, I was amazed to see him on the pitch after he limped off on Wednesday. But the fact he was on there for the full game, wasn't he? And the effort he put in was fantastic. He was in a position he wasn't playing a lot with a makeshift left back behind him also. Let's not forget that. I mean, Miggy's getting the support from Kieran. Joelinton's not getting that from Dan Burn, that similar sort of support. So I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10 because I thought his effort was fantastic. The run he made back to cover, I think it was Son, who was putting him through, and he caught with him.
Yeah, he sprinted out and won the ball back. Yeah,
and even Carragher praised him for that. So 8 out of 10 for Joe for me.
Yeah, I'm going with an 8 as well. Exactly what you've said, Billy. I'll just echo that 100%. Night of Neat Gaming says, is Alex rehearsing for Christmas Panto as Scrooge of the ratings world?
I'm giving 9s and 10s most of the time.
Yeah. Right, other side, Miggy Almiron. 10 from me. Danielle?
10.
Billy? Alex?
10.
We don't need to explain why we're giving Miggy a 10. He was simply brilliant, and the goal was superb. So I speak for everybody in saying a 10. Callum Wilson, Billy.
Right, we saw the best of Callum Wilson today, I thought, against a slow centre half line. He looks a much better player for it. Fantastic goal. Again, he wound up the Spurs centre halves and the goalkeeper, Lloris at times. I'm going to give him a 10 as well.
Ooh, okay. Alex?
I'm going to give him a 9. But I agree. We saw a better Callum Wilson today. I think he looked a lot faster as well, trying to drive between the centre backs. He looked a lot more. He looked younger. He looked 2 or 3 years younger. He really did.
I think it was their slowness more than his pace, to be honest.
Well, yeah, maybe. But he got the goal. Great intelligence. I mean, he kept pointing to his head after the goal. I don't know if that was a reference to just knowing the rules of the game and being switched on, or if he was just trying to annoy the home fans. But 5 out of 9 duels against some quite strong centre backs. He was doing a good job. I mean, albeit Dyer. And yeah, I mean, Dyer's not that strong, is he? I mean, Longley, yeah, maybe, but
that's me.
But 2 shots on target, successful dribble. He just looked sharper today, even though he didn't get many clear-cut chances. There was that little instinctive dink that he tried, which I love it when he tries that, because there's not many strikers in the league will try things like that. They will try and control it and have a shot, whereas there's 2 or 3 in the league that will just, they know where their goal is and they'll just try and with whatever is available, whatever thing they can hit the ball with that legally they can, they'll just try and dink it in the net. And he is one of those strikers that can do that. So yeah, I'll give him a 9. Yeah. I think he deserves it.
Geordie Howeman says, Alex, Wilson a 9 as he didn't save a penalty. Stu says, Alex is the Craig Revel Hallwood of the panel, the mean one. Danielle?
10.
Okay. I'm going with Alex. I'm giving him a 9. So, 9s and 10s is a fantastic result. Callum was brilliant today. Absolutely brilliant. But he almost got a second goal as well when that shot from Willock. If he diverted that in the net, he wasn't offside. It could have.
If he'd have scored that dink, I'd have given him a 10.
Yeah. But listen, he took his goal. It was absolutely quality, considering he's on his wrong foot. He's got his back to goal. Just striker's instinct. He knew where the goal was. So well done. Now, substitutions. The first one who came on was... somebody help me here. I can't remember.
Murphy, I think.
Murphy, yes, it was. Yeah, it was
Murphy for Willock on 75 minutes.
Yeah, so we can rate Murphy and Billy.
Yeah, I thought he did well while he's on. But because he was only on for like 20 minutes, I'll give him a 7.
Yeah, I'm going with a 7 as well. Danielle?
Yeah, me too.
Alex?
Yeah, I think that's fair. I want to give him higher because I'm just so happy that it's clicked.
Yeah, well,
the system's clicked with him, but
he wasn't on the pitch long enough, really, was he? Who else came on?
John Joe.
John Joe and Chris Wood both on 88 minutes.
Yeah,
it's not enough time, is it?
It's not enough time to rate them. No, it's not.
No, I'm giving John Joe a 10. I don't care.
I mean, I'm with you. I mean, I give them all the 10.
Well, obviously, yeah. I mean, God, there's a surprise.
He was at the best he's ever looked in pre-season when he got that injury. I'm so happy to see him back very early, may I add.
Toon Dave's gone with you guys. He's given Shelby a 10 for seeing him back. So fair enough. And
so, some of those outside of the... Did you see some of the clearances?
Yeah.
Outside
only John Joe...
He clipped a lovely one through for Joe Linton, actually.
Yeah, exactly. Only John Joe Shelby is the only
Yeah.
player in the world that will do a clearance as an outside of the foot pass just because he's a magician. He doesn't care. Outside of the foot, everything. He'd take a goal kick like that, honestly. He's crazy.
Right. Edward Howe. Billy.
Full marks for Eddie Howe this week.
Yeah.
A little surprised to see Joe Linton play on the left-hand side, but worked fantastically. Took a great away win. You can't give him anything less than 10. He managed the game superbly.
Yeah. I'm going for a 10 as well. Danielle?
10.
Alex? 10. Okay. He's actually got a scorecard like Craig Revel would now. Yeah. Sad Cafe says, where's it gone? City fan here, buzzing for you guys. Enjoy what's coming. Hope you can further break up the Big Six. The media will be out to get you. Just ignore. Oh, we are. Don't worry.
Great band in the day. And also Sad Cafe. Great band.
Thank you for that, Billy. Is that the actual band, do you think?
No, because I think the lead singer of the band's dead. So.
Oh, okay. We'll move on. Right, special shout outs before we go. We'll start off with you, Billy. Any special shout out for you this week?
It can only be Daddy Bruno, can't it? The interview afterwards, saying how much he loves the lads and how much he loves being with them, it had me in tears. I won't lie. And the endeavour he showed in the game and the effort to get to the game in the first place. Yeah, fantastic.
Okay, Alex.
I just want to give it to Shelvey for what I've just mentioned. The fact that he comes on and he tries four long balls he tried. I mean, they're arguably where their clearances are long balls, but he was trying to release people outside of the foot shots. I'm so excited he's back because some of obviously we always thought that he hadn't really got the legs to kind of step up to the system. And there were some preseason games where he was pressing equally as well as some of these lads are pressing now, and I am so excited to see what could be. It's a shame he's not 26, 27 anymore, because that be frightening if we could have him and Bruno. Yeah, I'm so excited he's back. So definitely to John Joe.
Okay, Danielle.
Yeah, I've got two. They're not from this game, actually.
Okay.
I would like to shout out to Potsy and to Daisy Burt today from the women's team. So Potsy, who obviously, if you haven't seen Charlotte Potts play for the women's team, she is outrageous as a centre back. She is absolutely incredible, and she got 2 goals today. And for Daisy, who actually scored her first goal today for Newcastle Women. And if you've seen her, she's a cracking little player, bless her, and left back. So she deserves that goal today. So well done, Daisy.
Fantastic. I'm going to give mine to Jason Tindall. And I'll tell you why, because I think Jason Tindall deserves a lot of credit for this turnaround as well. I know Eddie Howe gets the plaudits because he's the manager, he's the coach, he's the head coach. He will get all the plaudits. But it's clear the trust that Eddie Howe has in Jason Tindall, and it's clear that the effect that Jason Tindall has on the lads. If you watch, at the end when they're all going on to shaking hands, he's got a great relationship with those players, you can tell. So he's got a great relationship with Eddie, he's got a great relationship with the players, and I think he's just the sort of silent assassin for Newcastle, really, because he's got Eddie Howe's back on the touchline week in, week out. When managers start up on him and try and give Eddie Howe a rough time, Tindall always there to step in. And let's face it, you wouldn't like to take Tindall on. He's like a bloody tiger. He's raring to go, and I just think he's a class act as well. And I think the combination of Eddie Howe and Jason Tindall is absolutely superb, and long may it continue. So I'm going to give it to Jason Tindall this week, because I think he really does deserve it for the work that he puts in. Because let's face it, he does the same hours as Eddie Howe. He's there when Eddie's there, and they're just a fantastic partnership. They really are. So, Jason Tindall. Alex, you've got a tiny one?
Well, I mean, you could have worded that better. But anyway.
Hugo Lloris gets a funny mention. I mean, you misread that message completely to suit.
You just said I've got a tiny one, so I thought, right,
so okay. I've got one more tiny one to mention. Changed it. You can't cut out half the words to make it sound dirty. Right, Hugo Lloris anyway gets one from me, because every time I go and watch us live, we don't lose. I think I've got the reverse effect. Whenever I watch Hugo Lloris play, he's awful. I don't know why, but every time I watch him play, he bagged a 5.8 rating. Don't know what he was thinking in that run out, thinking he's going to get a free kick for that. I mean, he got to the ball first. He should have done more than just. I mean, I don't know what he did. What did he do to the ball? He kind of humped it to the side slightly. I don't know what he's thinking. He was awful. Absolutely woeful today. Considering he's a World Cup winner as well, with so much pedigree.
Well, he was awesome at Man United at Old Trafford during the week. He had a fantastic.
Well, I didn't watch that game, but it seems to be every game I watch, he's awful.
Yeah. Some of the saves he made at Old Trafford were incredible saves.
I think I'm missing his good games. I must be, because.
Well, I'm not bothered if he had a bad game today, to be honest. He can have one against Man United, but not against us. Ian says special mention is the Toon Review team. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. There's a lot of tiny Alex coming in now. Alex is tiny Alex. Jesus Christ. Never mind. Right.
5'10".
I don't think they're talking about your height, Alex, to be honest, matey. let's move on. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining in tonight. It's been a great show with over 1,200 watching at one stage, which was just fantastic. Thank you, genuinely. Thank you for all your support, for viewing, coming back time after time, show after show, and showing your support for us. We love putting these shows together for you. But it's you guys that make the channel because you keep coming back, and we really, really do appreciate it. Thank you to all the super chats. Thank you to all the new members. Welcome to them, to the members club. Thank you so much. And to the mod squad who've had a very busy day. Thank you so much to them. Thank you to you three. And of course, all the subscribers and viewers. It has been a pleasure. It's been a very busy day, but a very, 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 very good day. And the Toon are lying in a Champions League spot. It is incredible. So thank you so much for joining. Keep an eye on the channel. Obviously, we'll be bringing you some shows next week as well. But obviously, click that notification bell. You'll be notified when they are. But keep a check on our Facebook group, Twitter, and of course the Instagram page as well. So get yourself logged up to all that. Join the group on Facebook. Follow the Twitter page and follow the Instagram page as well. But until next time, guys, we bid you good night on this wonderful Sunday evening. And we're in a Champions League spot. I'll say it again. We're fourth in the bloody Premier League.
Get in there. Come
Good
on.
night, folks.
Good night.
Oh, with the lads and lasses, get in there.